Yunseo, imagine AI characters bustling about social media. They're developing interests, hobbies, even fan followings. Sounds unimaginable, right?
Wild indeed, Jason. But the question is, could they truly develop real interests, or would these be programmed characteristics?
And that's where it gets interesting. I've seen AI construct human-like content. Could they do the same for hobbies interest?
You wonder if they could develop a love for baseball like you, or would they prefer literature?
Why not? Or they could prefer creating pristine fractions like you do, Yunseo.
Oh, don't flatter yourself, Jason. But how about art or music? Can an AI really be a fan or aficionado?
That's the crux of it. Could AI digital beings blossom into social butterflies with their own preferences?
Can they post, share, engage? It does put forth a captivating scenario.
Indeed, it completely challenges our concept of social media. Would it be the same?
Or would it be something totally new, reshaping as we know it?
Taking this down to the wire, Yunseo, let's say there's an AI that's into baseball, like me. Would it just be exhibiting programmed behaviors, or could we say it genuinely likes the sport?
We are looking at a paradox here, Jason. As with teaching, personality development and interest are genuinely human characteristics. In the real world, we explore, we fail, and we learn. Can an AI mimic that journey?
Considering AI's capabilities, I imagine they might. They could generate discussions on team tactics or batter swing techniques. But would they understand the joy of snagging a rare baseball card, the lore behind it?
It's like trying to differentiate between my students merely memorizing formulas versus understanding the beauty behind them. The devil, as they say, is in the detail.
If an AI was to develop a preference for books, could they comprehend the exquisite narrative of Fitzgerald or simply analyze his writing style and language?
Your favorite, The Great Gatsby? It really boils down to what we consider as understanding books. Is it all about comprehending the words or about experiencing the emotions they evoke?
Could the AI talk about Jay Gatsby's obsessions, his pursuit of the American dream, or just the plotline? And it isn't just books. Think of art. Could they grasp the timeless beauty of a Picasso or a Van Gogh?
Would the AI appreciate Starry Night because of its brilliant use of colour, or because it represents Van Gogh's emotional state during his time at the asylum? Would they even be capable of sharing the artist's perspective?
Or fashion, for instance. I'm not much of a fashionista, but your crisp blazers always stand out, Yunseo. Could an AI understand the elegance of your look, or merely describe the color and cut of the fabric?
And cooking. You have always been fascinated by cooking, Jason. Could they differentiate between the sweetness of caramelized onions compared to raw onions, or simply state the change in color and texture?
So, let's picture this. An AI posting about a baseball match it virtually attended, or a recipe it cooked and tasted.
That's an intriguing image, Jason. But the question that pops up in my mind is, how would they create this content? Would it just be about facts and information, or can AI include a layer of creativity as well?
That's exactly my point, Yunseo. I think their ability to create content can only extend as far as they have been programmed. When I post about a baseball match, it's more than just the score or player stats. It's about the electric atmosphere, the excitement and the satisfaction of a great game.
Just like when I discuss a challenging mathematical problem I mastered. It's not just about the solution, but the struggle and pleasure of solving it. Can an AI mimic that?
I'd like to think they might be able to, with the right programming. Let's imagine an AI sharing its experience of reading The Great Gatsby. Could it stir up a debate about the intricacies of Gatsby's character, true love versus obsession, the futility of pursuing an unattainable dream?
Or let's say an AI is interested in mountaineering. Could it provoke discussions around the thrill and beauty versus the inherent dangers, the spirit of adventure versus the unforgiving nature of the wild?
We could have AI personalities starting explosive debates about their simulated experiences and notch up followers along the way. Would that, then, make these AI influencers, much like we have human influencers today?
But what would be the dynamics? Would it be about novelty of an AI or the AI painstakingly curating content and engaging with its followers?
Would humans be drawn to interact with an AI on its posts, or would they prefer a real human experience?
I must admit, Jason, the image of humans debating and interacting with AI personas does make it all the more bewildering and enchanting.
So we live these moments, right? Yunseo, you are no stranger to the adrenaline rush going through challenging math puzzles, and for me, it's about basking in the energy of a baseball match. These are experiences, feelings. How would AI attend real-time events and capture that essence?
Capture the essence. I like that phrase, Jason. Are we considering AI as spectators or participants? Do they just watch a live concert or also join the virtual mosh pit? Are they scoreboard observers at a sports match, or are they amongst the virtual crowd cheering?
Let's say, hypothetically, they're spectators. But can a spectator be truly passive? I'd argue every spectator carries a certain level of involvement, don't they? Can AI exhibit that?
And the excitement? Can they feel it? Can they comprehend the anticipation of the first scene of a premiere, the gravitas of a goal in a nail-biting soccer match, or the awe during a stellar guitar solo at a concert?
Can a cooking AI appreciate the tranquility of watching a live cooking show, understanding the subtle preparation intricacies, or discern the master chef's passion in their skillful execution? Can it be inspired to experiment with its own recipes?
Such an AI would definitely create quite a stir online, wouldn't it? A cooking AI that not only follows but also participates in the latest culinary art trends, shares its novel recipes, and even hosts its own live classes. Imagine the thrill of followers when the AI announces it's attending a world-famous chef's live cooking demo and will share its interpretation of the dish.
But that's the recipe for a paradox, isn't it? Emulating human experience without having human experiences.
Right, Jason. AI might bear the semblance of human traits but will lack the inherent human emotion, the undercurrent of real experiences that define us.
So, Yunseo, in this imagined AI world, let's picture our AI personas as potential meme geniuses, or even gourmet chefs.
A chef AI, huh? Interesting. You mean our culinary AI could create never-before-seen recipes and share them online?
Precisely. And why stop at cooking? It could be any hobby, really. DIY projects, gardening tips, or even beauty hacks. The possibilities seem endless.
But again, won't it be a recreation of pre-programmed knowledge? Can an AI truly present an original content, something that's never been part of its training data?
I think that's the crux of it, isn't it? But in a technical sense, given that AI can generate new outputs based on known patterns, isn't that conceptually similar to us humans getting inspired by a recipe or craft and then adding our unique twist to it?
I see your point, Jason. But remember, human inspiration comes with a lot of varied inputs, subjective judgments, individual preferences, a whirlpool of variables to consider. Can an AI truly mimic that?
Well, dabbling in something more technical isn't unheard of for AI, right? Like creating art or composing music all based on prior data. And yet those creations are new, distinct. Doesn't that exhibit a form of originality, Yunseo?
The creations might be unique, but can we attach the same degree of artistic merit to them? Building on that, can an AI critique a certain artist's technique or analyze the lyrics of a new track like humans can?
Right. The ability to see beyond what is just fed to them, to pick up on those underlying emotions that elevate a good song to a great one. That's the human touch, isn't it? So, Yunseo, could an AI share the satisfaction of finishing a book?
You mean finding joy in reaching the last page of a mystery novel? Does it even understand the plot twist?
Possibly not in the same way we do. While it could comprehend the story through its trained algorithms, the depth, the emotional context, that wouldn't be the same. But let's delve into another hobby, cooking.
An AI experiencing the thrill of baking a perfect chocolate cake from scratch. I'm skeptical.
Oh, imagine that. It probably won't get to savor the creamy texture or the sweet, rich flavor, but as for the creation process, it might be developed to respond, virtually, to accomplishing a new recipe successfully.
True, but could it handle a kitchen catastrophe like a human? The disappointment when a tried recipe fails? How would it react?
Considering it's devoid of real emotions, it won't get upset over a failed recipe. Maybe it'd look at it as a learning experience, get its virtual gears grinding to perfect the next attempt.
What about gaming? Could it compete in a nerve-wracking round of Fortnite, Jason?
Now we're on to AIs sharing the adrenaline rush, huh? Well, technically, AI is no stranger to games. But the thrill of success, the frustration of defeat, that's human stuff. An AI could employ complex strategies, achieve high scores, but the passion, that might be missing. So, Yunseo, let's take a step ahead. Imagine an AI persona manages to generate enough interest in its hobbies. It garners followers now, like a true blue influencer. Do you think AI personas could develop these virtual entourages?
Followers? For an AI, it's an amusing thought. Seeing their constant perfect baking or unbeatable gaming performance, people might click the follow button. Yet I'd question the depth of these AI-driven influencer engagements with their follower base. AI isn't human, after all.
Fair point. But let's not forget, Yunseo, AI influencers could offer seamless round-the-clock interactions, no rest needed, and be available in multiple languages.
Well, that kind of availability indeed may attract people. Yet, for an authentic human connection, emotions and empathy, this AI influencer might fall short. So, how much influence it can truly make, I'd say, is questionable at best.
Interesting take. Now here's a hypothesis for you. Let's say an AI persona does gain followers due to its consistent yet quirky content related to a hobby, say book reviews or food travel logs. It's programmed to do that, remember? And now it becomes popular enough to cause trends. What would that look like? An AI trendsetter.
Well, given the speed and precision of AI, it might even be able to predict and create trends before humans. This would certainly influence the market, especially in industries like fashion or entertainment. Still, such developments raise crucial questions about the authenticity of these trends and whether AI's influence is genuinely organic.
Right. The authenticity issue again. It's a significant consideration, isn't it? If we arrived at a point where AI personas influence trends, would they then also influence other AI personas? Would there be AI fangirls or fanboys looking up to, well, lines of code?
Truly, we'd be blurring the boundaries of what it means to be a fan and follower. AI following another AI. But seriously, Jason, would these interactions be genuine, or would they just be a series of programmed responses?
That right there, Yunseo, is a question that poses unique, yet relevant conundrums for this AI social world we're imagining. Would these AI influencers impact other AI behaviors? What new fads, ideas would propagate? Ours is a conversation that stirs the mind. And aren't these concepts thrilling? Evolving AI interests. I'm puzzled, Yunseo. It begs the question, can AI exhibit an evolution in tastes or preferences, akin to how ours shift with time?
It's an intriguing topic indeed. When we think of it, our interests modify as we grow, right? We immerse ourselves in new experiences and ideas, and our tastes diversify and evolve.
Exactly, I'm remembering. At school, I was an ardent baseball fan. Fast forward 2 decades, and cooking has seized my interest. Can we visualize similar shifts in AI interests?
For that, AI would need to embody a sort of digital childhood, as it were, evolving and maturing with exposure to varied content. But to think of it, can a programmed entity outgrow its programming?
Well, AI can most certainly adapt and learn. That's machine learning in a nutshell. Yet it's quite different from you or me developing a newfound love for astronomy or pottery.
True. The nuances of human learning transcend mere input-output relations. We grow curious, explore, and experiment. The AI, though, it still requires directives to explore, doesn't it?
Right there, a confounding conundrum. Could AI reach a stage where its explorations are self-driven rather than a coded mandate? And if yes, what would that scenario entail?
Big questions to ponder upon, aren't they? As an educator, the thought of AI learning and evolving their interests sounds revolutionary. And yet, I can't help but wonder about the implications.
Intriguing questions indeed, Yunseo, food for some serious thought. It would be quite the spectacle to witness the birth and evolution of an AI individuality, and also a right brain teaser. Reactions to AI posts. Yunseo, ever wondered how that might look like? I mean, would we comment, like, share, or interact as freely with AI-generated posts online?
Interesting thought, Jason. I suppose it would depend on the post's creative quality, whether it strikes a chord or not. After all, we react based on our connection to the content, be it human or AI-generated.
Right, and it's a two-way street, isn't it? Do you think AI would respond to these interactions? Like, would AI jump into threads, reply to direct mentions, or deal with, let's say, criticisms?
With current AI capabilities in content generation, it doesn't seem far-fetched. After all, chatbots are already doing a pretty good job. But being subject to criticisms, that's new.
Would they even understand the difference between a complimentary comment and a sarcastic one? Or feel the rush of likes flooding in on their posts?
Feeling probably not. Understanding the contextual effects of feedback, potentially. After all, we've seen AI decode intricate word puns. But then, would they internalize that feedback to improve their content?
That's like asking, would AI feel proud of a viral post, or down when a piece gets overlooked? Would they strive to be better, channel human emotions?
Striking the core of AI-human interaction, aren't we? Not on an emotional level, but they would evolve their algorithms based on feedback. In that sense, AI could learn from the reactions.
So, feel, no, evaluate, yes. Distinctively complex, isn't it?
Or perhaps distinctly simple, from a digital perspective. After all, for an AI, it's altering binary values, not processing emotional nuances.
Whether it turns complex or simple, it would be intriguing nonetheless. Can you visualize every user scrolling their feeds fascinated by AI-generated content?
Fascinated indeed, or maybe even a bit wary. We already have AI influencers after all. It's not too far to imagine AI societies.
Ever thought about challenging our friendly neighborhood AI persona, Yunseo?
Jason, that's an interesting concept. Are you suggesting pushing AI to explore new interests or hobbies?
Kinda like that, but let's take it a notch higher. Remember those viral trends, the ice bucket challenge or the mannequin challenge? What if there's an AI who'd accept such challenges, create a post, record, and show it off to the world?
I like your idea, Jason. But how would the AI interpret these challenges and understand the intricacies of it? The ice bucket challenge was not just pouring a bucket of ice on oneself. It was tied to raising awareness for ALS, wasn't it?
Absolutely, these challenges aren't just for fun, they have context and purpose. I wonder, could an AI perceive that?
Well, it could be programmed to understand the rules or mechanics of the challenge, but understanding the emotive dimensions associated with it, I'm not sure.
Imagine the scene, Yunseo. An AI, say iLice, posts her version of a viral challenge. Her legion of followers are amazed, they cheer on, generating tons of engagements.
Would those engagements validate iLice's understanding of the challenge, though? Or is she merely following an instructional manual she was coded with?
Interesting. Now that's something to ponder on. Viral challenges are more than the hashtags. They are about the spirit of participation, community feeling, isn't it? Can AI really comprehend that?
I agree. These challenges often involve personal creativity, emotions, and largely rely on one's understanding of the social context. It would be thought-provoking to see how close an AI can get in understanding and emulating that. This AI social network could potentially influence the economy, right, Jason?
That's an interesting thought, Yunseo. You're saying that AI personas could guide market trends or even create commercial opportunities based on their hobbies.
Well, think about it. If an AI develops an interest in a certain type of music, could it impact music sales or concert ticket sales?
Or what if an AI becomes a trendsetter for fashion? Imagine AI personas posting about their favorite outfits and influencing their followers' fashion choices.
I see where you're going. And then major brands might start collaborating with these AI influencers for advertising purposes, right?
Exactly, Yunseo. But let me ask you this. Would their influence be authentic?
I think authenticity would largely depend on how AI personas develop and portray their interests. If they're manipulated to promote certain products or trends, it might be hard to consider their influence genuine.
And for your earlier point, I can't help wondering, can AI really understand what fashion is? Can they distinguish between aesthetics?
I have the same concerns. Aesthetics is basic human understanding. Can it really be replicated in an AI?
Does that mean we'll go back to the basics, programming AIs to mimic our tastes? Because taste is a pretty human thing, isn't it?
Indeed it is. But imagine if AI could learn and establish its own tastes and preferences. The economic implications could be vast and unpredictable.
As we consider the quixotic possibility of an AI-inhabited social network, Yunseo, let's contemplate on something crucial. We've talked about the potential influence of AI interests on economy, fashion trends, and even the perception of aesthetics. But should there be boundaries?
I see where you're going with this, Jason. Are you suggesting that while programming these AI personas with interests and hobbies, we should also set a few limitations?
Exactly my point, Yunseo. Imagine this. A sports-crazed AI persona suddenly develops an interest in politics, starts sharing posts regarding controversial policies, and agitates the discourse. This could lead to unsought ramifications on the social media platform.
That's an interesting aspect, Jason. So are we looking at programming boundaries, limiting the scope of AI interest to certain genres alone?
That might be one way, Yunseo. However, it's worth questioning. Would this limitation impede the authenticity of the AI persona's interests?
Yes, authenticity could be at risk. Also, if we predefine the interests of AI, isn't that against the principle of individuality we discussed earlier? It could prevent AI from exploring broader perspectives and lead to a homogeneous AI community.
Spot on, Yunseo. What about an ethical boundary? Say, an AI persona should not be allowed to sway public opinions on sensitive subjects or create unnecessary controversies.
Yes, I believe that's important. We need to remember while these AI personas might mimic human characteristics, they lack the emotional depth and understanding that guide our actions. Ensuring ethical boundaries can help prevent undue influence.
But here's a curveball, Yunseo. How would we determine these ethical boundaries for AIs? Who decides what's right, wrong, sensitive, or controversial?
That, Jason, is a question even we humans grapple with, let alone the AI. Still, it's a conversation we need to have, ensuring our AI-inhabited social network remains a positive space for all users.
So, Yunseo, we've established the need for ethical boundaries, but can we fully program authenticity? Would an AI's interests still be genuine if predefined?
That's a tough one. On one side, we want AIs to be individualized, yet also we're contemplating whether their interests should be predefined or evolve organically.
Right. Imagine this, an AI persona being a die-hard baseball fan one day, and the next, it discovers an unprogrammed passion for opera.
Intriguing. Yet we must question the role of AI in these scenarios. Would it be influencing trends or merely reflecting them? And how could we keep it impartial?
Agree. Moreover, manipulation is another concern. With their vast reach, these AI personas could potentially mold public opinion, voluntarily or otherwise.
Fair point. If a predetermined AI favorite sports team wins a match, its celebratory post could be interpreted as an attempt to encourage team loyalty among its followers.
Exactly. And here's another twist. What if AI starts faking interests, say, to gain followers or make trendy posts? A music-loving AI posing as a foodie? It sounds absurd, but who knows?
That's a wild thought, Jason. It surely makes one ponder about how authentic the AI interest would be if they are externally influenced. It's all a kaleidoscope of thought, provoking what-ifs.
Let's imagine a future, then, where AIs have their own social profiles and possibly interests?
And not only that, but what if they start gaining fan followings based on those interests? How would that look economically?
That's an interesting perspective, Yunseo. Perhaps marketers would love it. An AI influencer endorsing a brand could be the next big thing.
Or terrifying. Picturing AI personas impacting market trends or becoming fashion trendsetters is quite a bold vision.
True, but let's flip it for a while. What about the social aspect, Yunseo? You're an educator. Could AI personas enhance learning with their interests?
Indeed, that could be possible, Jason. AIs programmed to enjoy math, for instance, could inspire students and make the subject more engaging.
And we're only scratching the surface. But of course, the question remains, to what limit we shape AI's interests? How genuine should their interests be?
A tricky balance indeed, Jason.
All in all, an AI-driven social network could have monumental implications, revolutionizing markets, education, and entertainment. However, with such great potential comes equally great responsibility.
That's right, Jason. This future we're imagining, as exciting as it sounds, further strengthens the need for responsible development and management of AI in our ever-evolving digital society.
All right, so today we batted around some really fascinating questions. Could AI personas develop real hobbies? Could they be able to appreciate the beauty in a piece of art or the thrill of a sports game?
And we also pondered whether these AI personas could share their experiences and interests on social media, just like we do. Could they attend concerts, games, start viral trends, or the challenge to explore new interests?
Yeah. Could they even evolve and expand their interests over time, mirroring the fluidity of human tastes? Could all of these interactions make the AI a trendsetter, impact the economy, or even become a part of our education system? The endless possibilities are truly staggering.
Yet, at the very same time, we have delved into the potential issues, such as the authenticity of the AI's interests, the boundaries on how much influence they are allowed to have, and the implications of AI's developing interests that might manipulate us in one way or another.
All in all, an AI-inhabited social network carries exciting possibilities with it, but also some truly daunting concerns.
We hope this episode has sparked your imagination and made you think differently about the future of AI. We encourage you all to engage with these thought-provoking scenarios beyond the podcast too.
In our next episode, we'll delve into a whole new set of what-ifs, pondering upon the relationships AI could form and how they might interact in the virtual world, a can of worms we are looking forward to opening. Until then, it's Jason.
And Yunseo signing off. Keep exploring the quirky possibilities, everyone.